It's showtime.
BS&B Media, in association with STWF-TV, the podcasting network.
Introducing the best in the world! Ooh, yeah!
What's going on, everybody? Welcome into the show. Best in the world, hashtag BITW. I am Dale. With me, as usual, from Sports for You. It's Trell. What's going on, man?
What's going on, Dale? How we doing today? Happy Wednesday. Happy Thursday, actually. Excuse me.
Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday, yes. Yes, man. Doing good, man. Just out here. I watched AEW like earlier today, and I've got a few things to say about them. And Survivor Series War Games this weekend, I did enjoy everything. It was it's a Triple H short card. Like it is what it is, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but there was so much stuff within those 5 matches, you know.
Yes, exactly. It makes everything meaningful. Yes. So yeah, man. Let's get started, man. Let's talk a little bit about AEW and what's going on down there in AEW. So,
All right.
the number one thing I like to get your thoughts on is so Shelton Benjamin lost his match in the I believe it's the Continental Classic tournament, right? It was part of the tournament.
Yeah.
Okay, and so he lost his match, and the Hurt Syndicate got him in the back, and they were disappointed. They gave him a talking to. So, what do you think is going to happen from here? I mean, I know they beat up both these random people in the back afterwards, but the fact that he was upset by this. What do you think? I mean, Bobby Lashley and MVP, that is.
I mean, this ain't the first time they showed Shelton Benjamin tough love. If we go back to the pandemic when the Hurt Business actually got started, it was the same thing. When you lose, you make the team look bad, you make the boss look bad. You don't get a talking to. But the Hurt Syndicate in AEW, I honestly still don't know what's the direction for this group. Are they going to add more members? What's their next biggest feud? Because right now they're just there.
Right.
So,
right.
Which was like one of my major concerns when they signed to AEW. It's like, what are they going to do with them? Because they pretty much this roster still all over the place. So, it's just I just take it as tough love. Their excellence. They're expecting excellence every time. So between that, I don't see nothing else coming out of that besides them possibly getting a new member, which we still don't have a clue who that might be. But I'm just as clueless as you are at this point. I do not know the direction of the Hurt Syndicate.
Yeah, I mean, weeks ago they handed out those cards and all this kind of stuff, and then MVP did make mention of it, saying, if we handed you a card, you should be, jumping at the chance.
Mm-hmm.
But so I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with that next. But yeah, I see a female member of the group if we can get one.
Yeah. I mean, it could be anyone. It doesn't even have to be Mercedes. It could be Red Velvet. They're not really doing anything. Tony Khan could pull a huge swerve and add Willow Nightingale to the group. Which that would be awesome because she's a powerhouse. She'll be unstoppable within that crew. Yeah, Queen Aminata maybe.
Okay.
That'd be a good career turn for her. Put her with the Hurt Business or the Hurt Syndicate. I mean, they need to do something. They need to be creative with this, and because it's gonna it has a tendency of it's going to fall flat within the next 2 months.
Yeah, yeah. I'm really hoping that doesn't happen. Do you think it has to be? Do you think it needs to be like a thing where you're it's a gang warfare or whatever, right? Like Hurt Syndicate against like I don't know the Moxie's group or whatever. Do you think they need something like that, or do you think they all need just they're all singular beefs that they go through?
I mean, at this point, you brought them all in together to be a group, so I would think that they can either just start wars with other factions or back up Bobby when Bobby goes on his runs. Make it meaningful, make it make sense out of everything. But a little feud with someone, would hurt. Maybe the House of Black, they're not really doing anything either. The Acclaim is on its way to Splitsville. You still got the Dark Order. Dark Order isn't doing anything. You still got Top Flight and Action Andretti. They're not doing anything. So it looks like I don't know what Bobby's doing. He just after Swerve, he's just pretty much just sitting around. Maybe he's buying his time. I don't know why he's not in the Intercontinental Classic. He could have easily took Dan Garcia's spot because TNT champion doesn't even need to be in the tournament to begin with. So I need something. If they chose to go to AEW because they wanted a difference, they wanted a change, they wasn't liking how Triple H was running things. Well, I'm expecting to see some results. Otherwise, it's just like you went to the greener grass for the higher money.
Yeah. Let's see. It's from Nick here. It says, who do you want to be in the Hurt Syndicate's new member? Do you know they're elevating at least one person? Caster, Ricochet, doubtful. You'd love to see Hobbs with them. So, yeah.
I've been calling for Hobbs since the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah. That would be nice.
But it's going to look hypocritical because he came back as a face, kind of, and then you're going to flip him and put him in the Hurt Syndicate. So it's like, all right, what are you guys doing? So I might have to be prepared for that. So if I
they
complain,
can always just bring it back to money. I'm hired gun. Whatever you need, I'm here to make money.
yeah. But if I'm Hobbs, I should be like, I'm tired of groups.
Hobbs versus Lashley. It's a money match.
Yeah, they gotta build it into that though. They can't just throw it on regular television and try to start a storyline with that. That's one thing I hate. They just throwing matches together, and if that match hits, they do it again or they don't. But Hobbs and Lashley, yeah, I'd like to see him try to put Hobbs in a hurt lock.
Yeah. That'd be entertaining for sure. So what's your thoughts overall about the Continental Classic tournament?
I like the tournament. I really do. It's a takeoff of what they do in New Japan. It's just some of the people don't need to be in it. They just put a random number in there, and whoever gets the number they're in. Like I said, Dan Garcia doesn't need to be in it. Pac and Claudio, they don't need to be in it. Well, I guess, they are trios champions, so it's technically, why are they in it? Why they're not looking for a feud to defend those trios titles? Why isn't Danny Garcia out looking for his next opponent for the TNT title? He doesn't need to be in there. So if I would change one thing, I would have Okada be the last man. Why should he have to be in the tournament? If he loses the championship that way, but he doesn't really. The person who winds up winning the Continental Classic becomes champion, technically might not even have to worry about beating Okada because Okada could, by points alone, could get leave the tournament based on could be eliminated based on the scores he has. So I figured what they should do is have the tournament, but then the winner, the finals from each group bracket goes on to fight for the right to face Okada at their next pay-per-view.
Yeah,
That would have made a whole
be.
lot more better sense.
Yeah, instead of having him in the tournament, he's pretty much like, you got to win the tournament again to keep your championship. Like, that's weird.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's how Eddie Keeson almost lost it last year, because he was so behind on points. Then he went on this unbelievable run to retain. It's like, come on, man. Like, have the champion sitting scot-free. Maybe have him defend the title every now and then if they want to do it that way. Have him defend the title against someone who's not in the tournament on a weekly episode. Keep it fresh, keep the champion, on TV. But then, their next pay-per-view, whatever it is, you have them face the champion. From there, you win the gold.
Yeah.
Other than that, I like the Continental Classic, but there's just some people that just don't need to be in there.
Yeah, I'm 100% with you on that, and with you on that. TK, make it make sense, bro.
That's all I'm saying. All right. Just make it make sense.
All right, let's talk some WWE, man. We had Survivor Series this last weekend here. So let's start off with the women's War Games match. What's your thoughts on that one?
Well, I hear you broke up.
Your thoughts on the women's War Games match?
Oh, my thoughts on the match. The beginning was sloppy. I explained this yesterday on our show. It's like they was afraid to, go at it, which I understand, because they usually wait until everyone's in and then the match begins and then it really goes crazy. But the spots were so unorganized, uncoordinated. I don't know if you remember, Dale, back in the day in WCW, the infamous chair shot where Hulk Hogan barely tapped Conan in the head with a chair and Conan sold the shit out of it. That what Nia Jax was doing.
Yeah,
I don't know if it was the toilet seat or the kendo stick. It was one of those.
It was the chair.
She was going to hit Naomi. Naomi kind of blocked in the awkward way. You can hear Nia say, "No, that's not what you're supposed to do." So she got repositioned for the block, and then when she hit her, it was like tapping someone on the hand, like saying, "Excuse me, do you know where I can find the nearest subway?" So I was like, "What is everyone doing?" Is like Nia. The moment Nia got in that cage, she should have been throwing females left and right against these cages. Throwing them against the door, throwing them against the wall, just smashing on them. But it was just like, what? I didn't know what the hell was happening. But the match picked up, thank God. And then, from there, you had the EO and Tiffany Stratton spot, especially EO, because EO is the Kofi Kingston of War Games. It's like, it's going to happen, but we were all waiting to see how it was going to happen.
Yeah. Shout out to you, Nick. What's the name of your show here? Saying you got a show on Fridays at 6 Eastern. So yeah, call-in kind of show. Sounds interesting.
Okay.
Nia Jax did take to Twitter to respond to fans criticizing her with her weak chair shots.
Yeah.
And she talks about how people talked about her not being safe. And I should be safe. People criticizing that. Like, what you want from her? That's what she said.
I mean, you gotta use common sense, because back then you was unsafe. This time around, you wasn't being safe. I get you trying to be safe, but you can't use that as an excuse, because the timing and everything was sloppy. Like, you can see it, how sloppy it was. I can understand if you swung the chair and hit her in the shoulder and you playing it safe so you don't hit her in the head. All right, cool. We all can see that. We all can understand that. we're already used to you when you came back on your second run. You put on some good matches since you've been back. So it's not like people are just picking on you just because. It's like we know how you can go. We've seen you dominate and not hurt anybody. That right there was just that chair shot was so weak. It is like, just take the criticism. You're a high profile superstar. You're gonna come with the territory. Just be like, all right, cool, thanks, whatever.
Yeah.
Or don't even respond.
Yes, that's the proper way. Just don't respond. Period. Like, stay off Twitter. For real.
Like you see MJF saying, "Oh, come on, guys, give me a break." He'll just say, "Go fuck yourself." you know, play the role.
You know, yeah, really. She is a heel. Yeah, she could be like that. Yes.
Play the role. Don't play the innocent victim, because you just gonna get the jokes are just gonna fly even more.
Yeah, I'm with you. All right. Nakamura wins the US title. I just want them to bring back that remix that we heard on SmackDown, because that was a banger, son. Okay. I know why they
Yes,
changed
you're
it.
the one. I forgot that. Yeah, you were the one.
That was a
I
banger,
don't know, man.
bro.
I don't know, man. It was, but come on, that Dark Samurai version
Yeah.
that we heard at Survivor Series. Imagine driving down with the speakers on and that thing's bumping. Man, that presentation alone was like, okay, Triple H is going all in on Nakamura. And there was like no way this man was losing on his first PLE back based off of that. So it was a foregone conclusion. LA Knight was losing it. His title reign wasn't bad, but it wasn't that amazing either compared to what Braun Breaker's been doing with the IC title. But I knew by the end of the year his time has ran its course, because he won it back at SummerSlam. He went through the whole entire summer and most of the fall. So now we get into the wintertime. So I know his reign wasn't gonna last long, but I for sure thought it would have been Carmelo Hayes.
Okay. That's a good thought there. Yeah, I'm glad to see Nakamura back. I do think the music does end up fitting better with the evil villain role and everything he has. So, but I'm interested to see how far this is going to go. Some people were talking about LA Knight's face coming to the ring. I know he's pissed off or whatever, but people were saying he was looking mad because he knew he was going to drop the title. What do you think about that?
Yeah, you can tell. You can tell sometimes when a person either don't want to lose the championship, or they're losing to a champion. They losing a championship to someone they don't want to lose it to, or it don't make sense. You can tell the mood that they have. It's like, yeah, let's just get this shit over with. I mean, big ups to the professionalism of LA Knight. He still went through the match. He didn't Jeff Hardy it up. He didn't Jeff Jarrett it up. He still did his job, as he was called upon to do. But I don't blame him. I really don't. The man has been gone for 7 months in Japan. He comes back and oh, by the way, he's taking your title with no build, no nothing. So I'll be a little upset too. So hopefully he doesn't get a lot of heat in the back for his facial expressions, because he still carried on with the match like a trooper. So next thing for him is the Royal Rumble, and hopefully, he still keeps that momentum. But yeah, I'm with him. But there's no way Nakamura was losing after that presentation.
So what's next to LA Knight? What do you think?
Right now, probably the Rumble, and then hit the reset button in the new year. Maybe he gets a rematch with Nakamura. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised they do a heel turn on this, but it wouldn't make any sense if Nakamura's a heel too.
No. LA Knight sells so much merch too, man.
I mean, they can keep him as a tweener, have that little attitude of, of losing the championship. But for him right now, he's ran through Andrade, he's ran through Carmelo Hayes, defended the championship against both of them and in a triple threat. So that's ran its course. Yeah. I don't know. I honestly don't know what's next for LA Knight. Maybe when Netflix comes around, maybe he gets moved to Raw. Maybe they have another draft, or who knows. But right now, I would say, keep a low pro here and there, and who knows.
Okay. All right. The Intercontinental Championship, Braun Breaker, he defeated Sheamus and Ludwig Kaiser in a triple threat match. So he's still champ. What do you think about that match, and what do you think is next for Braun Breaker?
Man, Braun Breaker's a freak athlete. That man is. I said it before, and I say it again. He just surpassed Rhino on having the best spear in the history of wrestling. Like, he jumped over Sheamus to land a perfect spear on Ludwig. No botching, no nothing. And it's like,
yes.
Who the hell does that?
Yes.
The man is insane. I don't see him losing anytime soon. If he does lose the IC title, it's going to be next year. He's going to have I'm expecting him to have a good showing in the Royal Rumble. If anything, the Final Four. Because usually the Final Four always go on to have good careers, or they the future. So I'm expecting big things out of him. But man, he proved that the rocket is strapped to his back, and he is going to be the face of WWE, like
Absolutely.
someone you can trust.
Absolutely, and not with the Steiner name too. Like that's
like you say, he doesn't need to use his family name. He's doing it on his own, and he's proven he's the real deal. He's gonna be World Heavyweight Champion sometime next year, or if not in 2026. But I'm pretty sure next year in 2025, one way or another, Braun Breaker will be World Heavyweight Champion.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I agree. For the World Heavyweight Championship, Gunther defeated Damian Priest. Now, it wasn't without some controversy, and I like the controversy we sparked. I like what they're doing with Finn. He's a bad guy, sneaky guy, and they're gonna use him in singles matches pretty soon here. But my problem with it is I don't want to see Judgment Day go away. That's my whole problem. And the way it's forming, it looks like they're gonna get rid of the Judgment Day.
Yeah, it Judgment Day has ran its course if you really think about it. They're teasing the little split between him and Dom. I'm gonna go ahead and say they're planting the seeds for an eventual potential sooner or later Dominic Mysterio heel face turn, because him and Finn got this little secret rivalry going on, like Bulldog and Owen Hart had that little rivalry going on within the Hart Foundation.
Okay,
they was in the same group, but they still had that thing going on, and Dominic still holds it over him that he's the only one out of the group that's beaten Damian Priest, and Finn doesn't like it. Gunther basically denied him a championship match and just looked at Dom and was like, "Hey, how about I give you a shot since you beat Damian? I'm gonna give it to you." So Finn is just coming up as a hypocrite, saying, there's no leaders. We got rid of Liv and Damian because they changed and they tried to act like leaders. There's no leadership here, but yet he's still trying to play that leadership role. So it's only a matter of time. Yeah, it's only a matter of time that Judgment Day go for a split. Him and JD are gonna go their way. Liv, Dom, and Raquel are gonna go this way, and whoever Carlito chooses, they're stuck with him.
And I'm so afraid for Carlito. I'm afraid for JD as well. I just think they're gonna fall into irrelevancy, and I'm
I don't
concern
know.
for
I don't think they would.
him? Okay.
I don't think JD would fall into irrelevancy. I mean, for all we know, him and Carlito might form a tag team, or maybe JD would go on his own and have some singles matches and be in an IC mid card title group. Built that roster up for the mid carders. Him, Ludwig, Braun, and everyone else like Chad Gable, stuff like that, have a mid card roster. So I think they'll be fine. It's just I don't know how they're gonna split them up. Is it gonna happen at the Rumble? Because we all know Finn's getting that title shot at Saturday night's main event, and I'm expecting Damian Priest to ruin that too.
Good point. Good point there. Yeah, I mean, look, Saturday Night Main Event gonna be shaping up pretty soon here. That's what, December 16th, is that right? Something like that.
I believe so.
Middle December. So
It's like next
yeah.
weekend, if anything.
Oh, 15th probably. No. It's okay.
Yeah,
I'll
14th,
look up
if
the
I'm
date
not
then.
mistaken.
14th.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's it. All right. Cool. Yeah, that should be pretty nice, man. So, all right. Let's talk about the big match. Okay, between the OG Bloodline and CM Punk versus the new Bloodline with Bronson Reed. Do you think Bronson Reed gonna stay in the new Bloodline?
I as of now, I just think he was just a hired gun that support the Bloodline because they needed they needed another member, so
Yeah.
they brought in a guy that is dominating. So I don't think he's. I mean, who knows? But I think the War Games pretty much settled it between the Bloodlines. Who knows what goes on after that with Roman and Jimmy? Bronson Reed's gonna be out for a while anyway because he messed up both his ankles.
Oh, okay. I didn't read
After
that. All right.
after that splash, yeah, he broke both his ankles, so
Damn.
he's gonna be out for a minute. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
That's
if you
tough
go
for a
back,
big
there's
guy.
clips. The clips is out already on how he did it. When he landed,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
So
Okay.
he's not coming back anytime soon. But even if he was there, I think he'll just go back to Raw and finish whatever business he had on Raw.
Yeah.
Because basically it was just the Avengers Endgame. Everybody assembled. They had their Civil War,
Yes.
and then when it was over, everyone's going back to their lives. So I'm looking forward to seeing what's next for Roman Reigns this Friday.
Yeah. That's going to be interesting. The whole favor from CM Punk to Paul Heyman is interesting. We still don't know what that is, and exactly when it's going to show up. Because my guess is what do you think the favor is? Put it that way. What do you think the favor?
I think it's the WWE Championship. Because who can if anyone can make a match happen and make a deal happen, it's Paul Heyman. And if Cody Rhodes is the champion and CM Punk, because it doesn't look like CM Punk is going for a championship at Mania because all roads lead to Seth Rollins. So I predict that somehow, some way, but next year Roman Reigns is going to find his way with the championship again. And come summertime, Paul is going to come. I mean, CM Punk's going to come knocking like, hey, remember that favor I asked you? Yeah, I'm gonna need that favor now. So we're probably gonna get Punk and Roman at SummerSlam for the WWE Championship, and I will actually have Punk beat Roman Reigns.
Okay.
Because the goal, I think that's his goal is that championship, whether it's against Roman, whether it's against Cody or whoever's WWE champion, that's gonna be his favor. Give me a title match, and Paul can make it happen.
I like that, and then I'm gonna take this a little step further because so often you've seen that WWE Championship you've also seen Paul Heyman with it. It's like he's the holder. I mean, always of that title, right? And right now,
Mhm.
that's not what's going on. And so I could see, okay, Roman gets the title back. Then he get that challenge for CM Punk, and because he's that title holder, CM Punk wins it. And now I want you to come with me, Paul Heyman, and you hold the title for me.
Mm. Mm. Hey, you
So
never
I
know.
think it's part of that too.
You never know. Ain't
No,
no
I
telling.
know in real life they're like real life best friends and all that kind of stuff. But
Oh yeah.
you
Oh yeah.
probably want to work with your
That'd be
best
good
friend. So
television.
yeah,
That'd definitely be good television.
yeah,
But
yep.
I think that's the favorite is the championship, and he's gonna get that championship probably before Roman. Roman's gonna be like, wait, eventually I want that championship back, and you're gonna do him that favor, and that's the promise you told him that you're gonna get him a championship match. Because I don't get what else would it be. Because it's not gonna be his services, because CM Punk can do it on his own. So it's not gonna be Paul Heyman's services. It has to be, you know, and we don't even Paul doesn't even know what the favor is. Only CM Punk knows. So it could be anything.
Yeah, yeah, true. That's true. That's true. All right. On Raw, we saw Sami Zayn get attacked by Drew McIntyre, which is cool, right? He just gave him like a month or so off, and he comes back and he's new again. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Um, so your thoughts on this? With his reasoning, I guess his reasoning is the bloodline is back together, and I'm about to take all these dudes out.
Yeah, he literally has unfinished business with everybody. He has unfinished business with
Hmm.
Jay. He has unfinished business with Sami Zayn, Seth Rollins. Him and Punk, I don't know if they're gonna revisit it or not, because Punk did put the final nail in the coffin or put the final wrench in his forehead at Hell in a
Yeah.
Cell. So I don't know if they're gonna revisit that, but something's up with Good Drew. So I've been hearing a lot of rumors that maybe a faction is brewing with involving McIntyre against the
Hmm.
bloodline.
Okay.
But I think Drew wasn't supposed to be there. It got rushed up because the whole Bronson Reed
Hmm.
injury. So that's what I was hearing as well. That Bronson Reed is gone, so it's like they brought Drew back sooner rather than later. So, but for all we know, he's the mystery guy that attacked Jey Uso also earlier in the night, even though it
Right.
hasn't been
Right.
proven yet.
Yes. Uh-huh.
But him attacking Sammy, it's very intriguing because he does have unfinished business with all four of those guys. So I like it.
So I did not think about Drew McIntyre maybe having a faction of his own, and that would make sense to try to combat the bloodline and all this kind of stuff. So it'd be interesting to see them go that way if that's what they're going to do. But at what point do we get back to The Rock?
Oh, Royal Rumble. I think the Royal Rumble. Or
Which
actually, I'm not gonna say Rumble because it's all the way in February. I would actually say January 6th,
okay,
Inglewood, California,
okay, yeah,
Raw
yeah,
on
yeah, yeah.
Netflix.
You're right. You're right.
You know,
That's it.
that's
That's
when
it.
that's when the road will begin.
Mhm.
And I already got my ticket yesterday, so I will be live
Yeah, let's
in
go.
the arena. So if something breaks, y'all will know about it.
Let's
Y'all will
go.
know about it. But yeah, that's gonna be a 3-hour show. They're going back to 3 hours starting on that episode.
Yeah.
So we already know the Rock's gonna be in the building. So I think we're gonna get our answer on what's gonna happen next moving forward. Because
Yep.
Rock's gonna be there, Roman's gonna be there, Cody's gonna be there, CM Punk's gonna be there. So it's gonna be a big
That's
deal.
gonna be PLE level, man. PLE level Raw.
Oh yeah, they're gonna load up on that. They're gonna load up on that show like it's nothing.
Yes. Yes. All right. Rhea Ripley was attacked by the Judgment Day, and her eye was targeted. I did like the little mask that she came out with, but she ditched the mask and she competing without the mask. And so, because she competed without the mask, they want to exploit the whole eye socket thing again. So your
Mhm.
thoughts on this thing going on between Rhea Ripley and Judgment Day again?
I mean, it's going on long enough. I want this to spin off to Rhea and Raquel because the damage they've done in NXT to one another. I know if you give them 15, 20 minutes on the main roster, they can tear the house down. So
Mhm.
I have predicted, she can't catch Liv. She's not going to be able to beat Liv. So she'll spin off and have a feud with Raquel. For all we know, Rhea might just win the title back at WrestleMania. So that could be in the cards for down the road. But her and Liv is like, all right, you can't beat her. Go do something else, and let it be Raquel. Let those two girls put on a banger, and we go from there. But her and Judgment Day, it's her and Damien versus Judgment Day. It's gone on a little bit long enough for me. So hopefully by the beginning of the new year, this is all put to rest by then.
Yeah, I'm with you. I definitely want to see Rhea versus Raquel, get that thing started. I thought it would be much more of that, and just Liv just getting a little sneak attacks in and just being a chicken shit heel. That's what I was just envisioning. So
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah, we'll see what ends up playing out with that. Let's move to the New Day. Big E
Oh,
interrupting the New Day 10-year anniversary celebration, and he tried to fix the issues between his brothers. But then Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods just like turned on him.
yeah,
And they're like, yo,
yeah,
you been gone, bro. You didn't have surgery on your neck. You gone, bro.
yeah. It's like you've been gone for all these months and a year, and now you want to come back and be our manager. What happened
Yeah.
to when you broke your neck? You could have came back a week later and be like, you know what? I'm not clear, but I'm here for you guys.
Mhm.
So and then for them to bring up, Stone Cold, Edge, Kurt Angle, I'm like, damn, they and those guys had surgery on their necks.
Mhm. Yeah, exactly.
So I was not expecting both of them to turn. I thought it would be like just Kofi and Xavier, just whatever it is. But when Big E came out, a little bit part of me, now don't hate me in the chat, the little bit of part of me wanted me to see them put a chair around Big E's neck and play on to the fact of, yeah, you ain't coming back. You ain't coming back, fam. You know what I'm saying? Like, really be like, oh, I hate those guys, even though people already hate them. People are seeing death threats to the New Day and all that stuff, so it's working.
Really?
But, well, not literal death threats, but people are in their feelings about kayfabe wise.
Well,
Um,
the week before, when they were having this little argument in the back under the tent, people was chanting fight. I heard the people chanting
yeah,
fight.
yeah. I thought that's
So
what it was gonna
yeah.
be. I didn't know it was gonna come out together. That threw me off. I thought Xavier was gonna come out first, then Kofi was gonna come out first, and they have their little discussion. It gets heated again, and a fight breaks out. But they both came out together and were just gonna go their separate ways. And Big E came out. I'm like, oh shit, they're gonna jump this man. Like, put the chair to his neck. Make it seem like telling them, stay home, go back to your desk job. We don't need you here now. And that would have definitely, because that had everyone in their fields. And when I was watching that segment, Dale, it reminded me the night, and I said this yesterday, and I'm gonna keep saying it. It reminds me of the night Roman Reigns announced his leukemia to the world, and then an hour or so later, Dean Ambrose beat the dog shit out of Seth Rollins after they won the tag team titles, and everyone was like left stunned and like, what the hell is going on? Like, why are you doing this type of stuff? So for them, it's like you could tell they didn't want to do it in real life, but they knew that they had a job to do, and Big E sold the hell out of it, trying to keep it together, telling everyone, we can fix this. You was at my hospital bed, your kids was at my house, blah, blah, blah. So it's those three are brothers, so it made it work so perfectly. That was good cinema. It really was.
It was. John agrees, saying the segment was the best part of Raw. What's the thing about his idea? Yeah, change the New Day to the Bad Day.
Nah. I do think they should jump the New Day, obviously, but if change the theme, have a new theme. They're gonna come out with new gear, I'm assuming. So, and this is a different heel New Day, because back then they were still with the jokes when they were heels.
Yes.
They were funny heels. This is like them. Like, this is Austin Creed and Kofi as a tag team. So I'm looking forward to seeing the damage they're gonna do.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting for sure. What do you think though? We're gonna get more Big E. I mean, I know you're gonna still do the kickoff show and all that kind of stuff, but you think we still get more of him?
I think maybe they are, because me and John were discussing this a few days ago. The way it's set up, it's one of two ways. He's actually he's actually retiring, and he's never ever getting medically cleared, or they're holding out and planning a Big E return, probably at the Royal Rumble. Have Big E come back and take them both out, or find a tag team partner and face them. So that's the only two solutions. Either he's staying retired, and this is their way of getting him out and having Xavier and Kofi, do their thing away from New Day, or this is setting up for the biggest return since Edge.
That's interesting. Yeah. All right.
Because everyone's gonna be crying, everyone's gonna be happy seeing Big E come through that apron in his gear. So if that's the case, it's gonna top Edge on his 10-year return. But if it's not, if we don't see Big E next year, this was their way of telling you, he's done. But I think this is something he's coming back. I think he's coming back.
Okay. Let's go, Big E. All right, let's get to some NXT. So they had they've been having like these Iron Survivor qualifier matches, which is cool. What do you think about the Iron Survivor match? I mean, I know it's pretty much a TNA kind of ripoff. What's your thoughts on it?
I like it. It pretty much produces the future stars of NXT. I thought what would make a unique take on it if they had Roxanne Perez automatically be that final spot and she defends her championship inside Iron Survivor. I always thought that would have been a unique dynamic, because I think right now she doesn't have a challenger, if I'm not mistaken. I think she's gonna be coasting through until January.
Yeah. She's waiting until the winner of that. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I would have been like, instead of having the champ just coast through the month of December and not worry about anything, put them in the Iron Survivor and have the person defend it. So that way, if you lose, you get the rematch at in January for New Year's Evil, or someone else, or she defends it against somebody else who did win the Iron Survivor. But I think it would have been a better dynamic, because we haven't had that a champion defend the title in that type of match since they used to have those since they had that championship scramble many years ago.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like the Iron Survivor before it was the Iron Survivor. When they had, remember they had the championship scramble when you have to get so many wins in a certain amount of time to win a championship. I think that's how Jericho won. At that
okay.
time.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So that was the first concept of it. So
yeah.
Now this is different because you have the penalty box and all that stuff, but it's kind of like the same thing. So I think it would have been better if Roxanne Perez was in there, but she's going to be watching from the sidelines, of course. So I still got Stephanie Valcour as the Iron Survivor.
Oh, this is a good question here from John. You enjoying the women's Intercontinental and United States titles tournaments?
I mean, the IC one just kicked off on Monday, so I'll hold my judgment on that one. The United States, so far, the people who won are the ones that are supposed to win. So I'm expecting either Mia Yim and Chelsea Green in the finals. But if one of them's not there, I got Bailey being in the finals. Who the hell is that? Hey, man, you got some fans, huh?
I had to leave that one.
Hey, man, you got some fans, man. Hey, man, what's going on over there, man?
Put some people in time out here, okay?
Hey, man.
Hey,
Dale, you got some folks, Dale? Hey, like, hey,
I don't know what it came from.
You left your microphone.
Yeah, man.
What the hell's going on over there, man? Hey, man.
Put some people in time out over here.
Okay. Good.
Coming in strong. A little too strong.
That's a little forward there, sir, or ma'am, or however you want to call yourself.
Yes, this is we're talking about wrestling on this show. Okay, this is what we're talking about.
Yeah, unless your name is Liv, Mina, Tony, or Mariah, respect yourself.
All right, what's your thoughts on this this kind of love circle thing going on between Carmen Petrovich and Nikita Lyons and Shante Diadonis?
Man, Nikita, stop being messy. That I don't like that. I don't like that. You see your brother trying to, he's really falling for this girl, and you just, you playing the role. You just come in there, hey, still waiting for that text. And it turned out that, the text that, they exchanged was way before he caught eyes with Carmen. So that's kind of like his saving grace. But, she's still being a little stubborn, hard-headed. He's trying to help, and she thinks he pushed her on purpose or whatever. So they're dragging this out, but eventually, we all know what's going to happen. So she got the win over Nikita. And Nikita did the famous, what all girls do when they get rejected. I didn't want you anyway line. And it's like, yeah, okay. Sure you didn't. So hopefully that's out the way between Carmen and Nikita, and that romance can finally give my guy Ashanti something to do. Give him something to do. And if it's Carmen, good for him.
Yeah.
He's a player. He's a player from the Himalayas. Let him get his Mac on.
So do you think it ends that way? Like they're like in this relationship, he's doing sweet things, all that kind of stuff, and then boom, he break a heart by going to his next chick.
I mean, it could be if it's kind of similar with Jericho and Trish. Like, he was trying to, Jericho's trying to get at Trish, and Trish is like, nah, I'm cool. didn't really believe him, and then they ended up supposedly date until it all ended at WrestleMania when she dumped her for Christian, but which that was kind of messed up story, but that's the route I would see, going through that route, trials and tribulations, and them ultimately, going on a few dates, and she could, break his heart and, not date him, or, they become an idol. So I'm rooting for my boy. I mean, he's the last one left. I'm rooting for him.
Yeah, he is the last one left, and I mean, this is the most, I guess, continuity he's had with a storyline.
Exactly.
Since he's been doing this whole thing. So yes, we'll see what happens with that. Eddie Thorpe wins the last chance Iron Survivor qualifier 4-way match. So now he's going to be in the match, and this is after he's had some drama with Ava, and Shawn Michaels put him up against the wall last week.
Yeah,
he got handled up.
I was like, all right, Sean. You retired again. Let's not do nothing hasty now.
Yes. So with him being an Iron Survivor match, do you think he's like the favorite here? Because I mean, they kind of been, I guess, kind of featuring him, and Ava ignoring him. He's getting screwed, all this kind of stuff.
That's the thing. I don't know if he's even going to make it to deadline. Given what happened to him on NXT, he someone jumped him. I got a few theories on who may have jumped him. It definitely wasn't Lexus King, because immediately the fingers are going to start pointing at him.
Yes,
he was the first one in the locker room, but it definitely wasn't him. My first theory is, I don't know if you remember this, Dale. Who did I say should lose the North American Championship and move on to beat Trick Williams for the NXT title?
Talking about D'Angelo? Tony D?
Yeah, who did I say should lose to Tony D and then move on to beat Trick?
Oba you're talking about.
Yeah. Maybe because all the talks of him going to the main roster slowed down, so I'm thinking maybe he pulled up, scared the crap out of Stone and old girl, because they looked kind of shook, like holy snap. So maybe he's the one that jumped Eddie Thorpe, and he's gonna get replaced, and he's gonna get in there, win the Iron Survivor, and boom, you got Trick in January, which is right where I kind of called it a long time ago.
Okay, that's interesting. Because we haven't seen Oba in a minute here. I figured he was going to just show up one day on the main roster. That was my thought with Oba. So I hadn't even been thinking about him with NXT. So yeah, it makes sense. What you're saying makes sense.
The other theory I have, if you remember when Ava got knocked down, Trick made a comment saying, I know Ava's going to be good, and I know her bloodline's going to make sure she's good.
Yes.
Didn't NXT just sign 2 members of the bloodline?
Oh, did they?
Yeah, Lance is signed already, and I think the other Tongan, Hakio, I think he got signed by NXT too. So my other theory is, they're sticking up for Ava, and because remember Eddie Thorpe kept bringing it up, throughout the night, like, oh, I'm glad, Ava didn't suspend me. I got a second chance in Iron Survivor. She didn't suspend me, so I'm glad that didn't happen. Maybe her cousins, found them in the locker room and handled some business. And maybe Obafemi still comes back and gets added into that match anyway, but he didn't jump him. So it's either Obafemi or someone from the bloodline that jumped Eddie Thorpe, in my opinion. Those are my 2 theories.
Okay. I keep seeing little rumors regarding Zilla Fatu.
Oh,
That's the one. That's the one I keep waiting to be signed, or if he actually is signed, and we just don't know yet. That's the name I keep
if
looking at.
that's
Okay.
Zilla that did that, oh man,
Mm-hmm.
woo!
Mm-hmm.
If they've been
That's
hiding that one, if Shawn Michaels been hiding that announcement, and it turns out that it actually was Zilla that beat down Eddie Thorpe, it's like holy,
mm-hmm.
we got
Yep, that'd be
ourselves
nice.
yeah,
Be real
we might have a
nice.
little
Be real
bloodline
nice.
faction in NXT.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. Be real nice there. So, all right. There's something else I didn't mention you wanted to bring up, man.
I actually thought it was funny the interaction with Big E's girl, Miriam's sister, and Woods and Kofi, how they're going back and forth with her on social media. You know,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
she was saying how, you know, me and E just got like a house and, you know, I couldn't wait to, you know, have these guys over for dinner, you know, having to worry about Kofi and his vegan diet and Xavier Woods, you know, his childlike palate. I'm paraphrasing. And Woods responded, well, you know, that's good because I didn't have to worry about eating that bland food. And she came back, you know, just as bland as your singles run. I was like, damn.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, now you got the sister involved. So it's like, I like how they're bringing family involved and they doing all these tweets and stuff. It's like, I know they're at home right now at a campfire somewhere, just having a whole bunch of fun, you know, like letting this go because that I can see this going, and the fact that she's involved, I wonder is Mia Yim gonna get involved.
Mm. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
You're right. You're right.
so that's gonna be interesting to see moving forward. It's just WWE right now. It got so many stories, so many twists and turns, so many
Yeah.
swerves. It's like you don't know where it's gonna go every week,
You're right.
and I
You're
like
right.
it, man. This is the best. This is the best it's been so far.
Oh, I saw something that says Raw for Netflix. They're saying that no matter where Raw is in this next year, it's gonna be live. So they could
Yeah,
be from
I saw that.
Brussels or whatever. It's gonna be live. So
I saw that.
that's interesting. I guess this is more I guess investment from Netflix, making sure, hey, you're not gonna be putting out some tape stuff on Netflix so
Yeah,
everybody already know the results of. It's
exactly,
gonna be
exactly.
live every week.
Everyone's
Yeah.
gonna find out at the same time. So they're gonna be on that European tour on the road to WrestleMania. So expect, you know, Monday Night Raw coming on at 10 o'clock in the morning, 12 noon, wherever your time zone is
Mm-hmm.
at. Expect to watch Monday Night Raw early because
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna be in Europe on their way heading to Vegas. They're gonna have a few pit stops in Europe. So
Yeah.
it's I like it. I enjoy it because they're planning on having video on demand once the show ends, so no one
Yep.
won't miss out. So I like that concept of, you know, they're gonna be live. It's gonna be live no matter where you are. So expect if
Yes.
they're in England, expect to watch it at, you know, 3 o'clock in the afternoon instead of 5. So if they're in Saudi, expect to watch it at 10 in the morning if you're on the West Coast or something, you know, or 12 noon if you're on the Central Time. So
Okay.
I like it. I'm excited for it. I can't wait till Netflix kicks off, and I'm glad I'm
Yes.
happy that I'm going to be in the building for the
First
premiere
day.
on first day on the job. You know,
Yes,
first day on the
sir.
job.
Yes, sir. All right, so a question here from John. You got a prediction for the Iron Survivor winners this year?
Oh, for the women, I'm still gonna go with Stephanie Vacour.
Okay.
Since my girl Jada's not gonna be in it, I'm going with Stephanie. Oh, that's
Mm-hmm.
another thing. We gotta touch on Jada when we're done with this. I got Stephanie winning. And for the men, I got whoever replaces Eddie Thorpe.
Okay. All right. Yeah, what happened with Jada Parker? That's right. It's gonna be underground match with her and Lola Vice coming up next week,
The
right? Or is it on?
She's LSU's finest, and I do mean
Yes.
finest.
Oh, Miss Parker.
It's not about the match. It's the promo she cut.
Yes.
I mean, people are having mixed reactions on it because apparently she had a Booker T moment and the N word came out. You and I know which
I didn't hear
one
that one.
comes
Okay.
out. Yeah, if you go back, it sounds like she's saying like, "Nigga, you heard me," but also the referee's name is Nick, so
Yeah.
she could have just said, "Nick, you heard me."
Yeah.
You heard me, Nick. So, but whatever it is, you have to go back and rewatch it and see for yourself if, in fact, she's she went hood or she really did say Nick. Because when she got in the ring, she was like, "You want this match? Let's run that shit back." I'm like, "Oh, damn!"
Yeah.
Sean has let this woman speak her mind.
Yeah. Do you think that was unscripted or scripted, or what do you think?
I listen, man. She had a live microphone, and Shawn Michaels told her to go out there and give him a promo. So
Yeah.
I think she's fine. I don't think she got any reprimanded because the fact that now that the referee's name is Nick, I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt and say that she said Nick. Because if you say that fast and you a chick, that does sound like you said something else. So I'm gonna say that she said Nick, and that's what I'm gonna stick to it. But
that has slipped from my mouth one time. I remember, like probably 2006. I remember I cringed because I was just at work and we were just talking at work, and it came out. Oh. So yes.
So I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt. If the referee's name is Nick, I'm gonna give her. I'm gonna let her slide. Even if it wasn't, I just would be like, all right, you go ahead, Jada. You stand on business. Stand on business.
That's right.
So
that's right.
I got her being the first one to beat Lola Vice in the underground match. I think she's gonna be the first one.
Yeah.
The stock is too high for her to lose again.
Yes, I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. I think Lola Vice has kind of cooled off a little bit, but but Jada's still smoking hot for NXT. So I agree with that match too.
She's gonna be in the Rumble. She's definitely gonna be in the Rumble.
Yes, Rumble for sure. I think she is the next Bianca Belair, and that's the way they look at it.
Man, I can't wait to have that good old SEC battle in the Royal Rumble. If you get what I'm saying, with Tennessee and LSU getting it on, and you know what I'm saying. So
let's go.
LSU's finest, and I do mean finest.
Speaking of, real quick, what did you think about the intros for War Games, where they did like NFL kind of intros?
Oh man, I was dying all Saturday morning. I was dying. Like the first ones I saw was the OG Bloodline intros. I thought it was just them doing it. I didn't know it was like a for real thing.
Yes.
And Jimmy was like, NYU, no Yeet University. I was like, that had me dying. And then, the new Bloodline, they had theirs. And it was like, and it feels like to me, Tongaloa botched that too, but because he actually named an actual school. It's like, fuck you don't name a school for? You're supposed to be funny here. I'm like, so he messed that up too.
He's always the odd one out. He
always gotta be the different one. He just don't know when to play his role. And Tamatonga, he was like, leader of the yeah. That was awesome, bro. Man. The War Games intros, that was cool. You know,
I liked it.
John said Key and Peele are watching this with a smile on their face because, man, that had me dying all Saturday morning. I was like, what the hell is going on?
Exactly.
Whose idea was this so I could send them money on a cash app and be like, thank you? Because that Bloodline one, that's funny, man. You had Yeet University, you had no Yeet University. So and then CM Punk, just the most generic white guy, like CM Punk, best in the world. Like, that's it. You know, best in the world.
It works. All right, man. We wrapping this thing up, man. Trell, appreciate you joining us again. Be sure you check out your show on Wednesdays, right around 8:45 Central Time on Sports for You Wrestling.
It's 7:15 Pacific, 9:15, Central, and 10:15, Eastern Standard Time. And check us out Saturday because we will have NXT Deadline watch along as well.
Yes, sir. Watch along for Deadline. All right. Appreciate all of the comments and everybody chatting us up. We will see you guys next week. Kenny Omega.
Must meet you too. Goodbye. Mwah. Good night. Bang! Yes!
Thanks for watching our show. Remember to subscribe for more shows on the network. Smash the like button, share, and comment.